All right, we're gonna try to do our best vet setup that we can with it obviously being an environment that Lucy's already comfortable in. This is not a vet office, but we have to practice things the best that we can. I will say we haven't done any of this kind of handling yet, of pretending that we're gonna like do a vaccine or touching her hind area, which seems to be her more sensitive space. I'm gonna treat Mandy as if she's the owner. Unfortunately, my experience has been where not every vet is going to listen to you if you know what's best for your dog, unfortunately. Then there's some that are amazing and will work with you. So I'm going to act a little bit more like what I see my owners struggle with consistently, and that's like almost putting too much pressure on the dogs from trying to baby talk them. So I'm gonna kind of play that up. She'll probably be relatively comfortable with me doing that. But first off, I'm gonna have Mandy just muzzle Lucy up versus it being that the muzzle goes on the second that it's like vaccine time. I would recommend with Lucy that she has it on the entire vet visit, unless they need to like check her teeth and stuff, because she's not a human aggressive dog. But I think it's more beneficial for her to have experiences with it on the entire time versus only when the big bad thing is happening. So go ahead and muzzle Lucy up. And then one of the things that I think owners struggle with and dogs struggle with the most is the initial, like the vet is coming in. How I have Mandy sitting in this chair right now, the reason I have her sitting is because most offices have a seated area when you're waiting for the vet tech or the vet to come in, and your dog is normally by you. With some dogs, like a Hank, he's, again, very excitable and kind of unhinged when the person's coming in. And there's some dogs that are like, I don't want to leave my person. I find the best thing is not having the vet come in the owner and dog space. So Mandy, what I'd like to have you do is tell Lucy, let's go, and come over here. And I am gonna offer her, see if she would like some food through this muzzle. Again, she kind of goes into freeze mode in general when there's handling stuff. Some dogs will not take food. I know some people will look at this and be like, oh my gosh, she's so scared. This is a dog who is very comfortable with us now, but she is not comfortable with like, she's not fully muzzle conditioned, and this is not the muzzle type of muzzle, even though it's the one I recommend for her. It's not the type that her owners worked with her on. So I think a lot of times what happens is people try to rely on treats, and if a dog's just not taking food, what are you gonna do? And that's what we're gonna try to show you right now. What I find very beneficial is for the owner to be able to do head control. So even if the dog is uncomfortable, I'll take this leash for a second. I like to kind of loop up my leash and have my dog be able to trust this kind of handling. Good. And then Mandy, since she is comfortable with Mandy, but she's had way less experience with Mandy, I'm gonna have Mandy be the vet. So Mandy, if you could just come behind her, I'm gonna show you guys what I do if she like does anything I don't want. So right now I just want her head to stay towards me. Can you just go down her back, just start by touching her a little bit? Good. I want you to go under her belly, her hind leg, and I just want you to lift her up into a stand. This is where a lot of dogs get uncomfortable. For an owner, how I like to do handling here is so I have head control, and then usually for my dog, I just put my hand underneath here. Both of my dogs don't love the vet. Birdie's much more like open to it than Rhodey, but this works best for my dogs, is like I have head control, and as long as they trust me, the vet visit goes well. One thing she struggles with is lift up her tail, Mandy. Good. And grab it a little bit more at like the base of her rear, and then give her a little lift up. Good girl, Luce. Good. I noticed that the other day. I'm like, she does not like her hind leg looked or her rear looked at, but they've got to like do temperatures back there. They need to look to make sure everything's looking how it should. Can you pick up one of her back legs and just act like you're checking her joints? Good. Good job, Lucy. Good. Put her leg down. Good. I want you to say, good girl, Lucy. Because again, a lot of vets and vet techs, understandably, are trying to get the dog comfortable with them. So they're, oh, that's a good girl. That's a good girl. A lot of dogs don't love it, but we got to practice it. Good. Yeah. Good. I am barely handling her though, you guys. I think that's something that's important. Like sometimes you might need to fully give your dog a bear hug. That is okay. That's better than having 4 people have to hold her down. What I want you to do now is, I don't know if they give her vaccines into the muscle back here or there. I'm gonna have you practice the back one. Just put this against her. No needle, it's just a syringe, and kind of make it kind of abrupt, and then like do the whole like push thing. Good. Then I want you to practice once in a while to do something in the rear. Grab and give it a good grab. Good. Now the up here. Good, Lucy. And we'll give her a break. Good job, Lucy. Let's go. Good job. She's like, I'm going to go to my kennel now. Good girl, Lucy. You can just also sit down on the ground. That's something that with certain dogs, vets will do as well if it works for them. I think the biggest thing that people need to understand is like, she goes to more freeze and shut down mode, not just with us, that's with her owners as well. And then when she can't freeze or flee, she goes to fight mode. So what we're just looking to avoid right now for her vet visits is the fight mode. She doesn't need to love the vet. Would we love for her to be like super happy-go-lucky about it? Of course. Would I love for her to take a bunch of food right now? Sure. But that's not what's helping her get what she needs to get done. Okay, good. I'm gonna practice taking the muzzle off. Good girl, break. Let her shake it off a little bit. That's my girl. Hank's just sit. Good girl. The stinky muzzle, is that what you don't like? Good, good job. Now I'm gonna practice putting this back on, and we're gonna do a head exam. So what they do often is they come in. I don't know that she struggles with everything at the vet. I just know the vaccines and nails are a no-go. But a lot of times they'll check, like put a light in. Do you have your phone on you? Can you turn on your light? What I like to do again is I like to have my slip lead control it. I just want to make sure this is still recording because my thing sometimes says it's full. Okay, it's still going. We're good. So what I like to do is I always like to have the slip lead. Again, why not muzzle if you need to? I like to, if the vet will allow me to, do the opening of my dog's eyes. I like to hold the ear open if I can. Very good. And she's like, totally kind of like, let me show again. She's kind of trying to avoid it. Sometimes you do need to give that little bit of head control. Now I want you to touch the ear. Good, Lucy. Good. Good job. And then we give her a break. Good. Good job. And then I'm going to have you do one more time just for practice. Come behind her. Good. And then do the rear lift. Good, Lucy. And then kind of under her stomach, give some pushes. They'll do that for like checking organs and all that good stuff. Good. Do the little like front paw flip back for you to look under it. Good. Good. Use your phone or like the e-collar remote and just put it on her chest, acting like you're checking her heartbeat. Good. Good girl. Good. Good. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Obviously, we don't have any real vaccines that we're going to be administering, but I'm just going to give one more like. Good. I want to see if she does anything with visualizing it. Good girl. Good girl. I would hope they're not like, hey. Like sometimes you just got to sneak it in there. Good. Good job. Okay, so again, obviously you guys, this is not like a office building, but she is uncomfortable. So at least we got a little bit of the uncomfortability from her because again, she's warmed up so much here and she's gotten so much more comfortable with us. She still doesn't like love the handling stuff, but she's very tolerant to it now. But at home, if your dog struggles with this, at least practice that handling type of stuff. If you doing head control, maybe with you, they'll take food more. I think that if they continue to work more with her on the muzzle, she'll start to take food through the muzzle more. She was when I was actually just doing muzzle conditioning stuff with her, but she knew something was up. We were changing the situation. But yeah, she's insecure right now. I think that that's one thing that some people don't want to show or talk about, is like, your dog's not going to be comfortable with everything. She clearly wasn't before. They had to do so many visits to even get her stuff done. And while that's fine, and they were doing like happy visits, she was not happy. Like, it still was a complete struggle. So sometimes if we can build up this reliability of our dogs taking our word for it and trusting us, hopefully you'll get a vet that will work with you. And if not, I think you should go search for a new vet, because you need to feel supported when you're in there, especially if your dog struggles with being handled, getting these things done. You're not alone with that. A lot of dogs do, just most people don't talk about it. So hope this was helpful for you guys to see. And our little insecure girl will keep working on it. All right, bye.